Welcome to Uncle Owen's Barbecue. I'm Dr. Afra, and you've chosen to stop in for a special episode that you can call Ultra.
What?
And you won't find any random human on their day off, esoteric alien expecting feline cuisine, or even our thoughts on the new Outer Rim Double Dewback Bacon Burger.
I gotta get me one of those.
But we're sure to have the droids you're looking for in this compendium of contraptions. So don't go anywhere because you won't want to miss out on a single scrap of today's special.
Just because the malfunctioning droids happen to visit here doesn't mean that this one is in on it.
I want to help.
You want me to pull your hearing sensors too?
When we enter this power outlet hookah bar, we see a few of these Legacy Collection Dark Trooper head sculpted droids. And since the multiple models shown are unidentified, I'll just refer to this one as Cyclops.
Cyclops, right? You want to get out of my way?
This isn't the only droid found inside that finds it difficult to remain stationary, but is the most notorious. And since it's a bit tricky to lock in on just how many there are really, as the continuity is off, let's just introduce ourselves. There is one on Din Djarin's left upon entering. There is another explaining the consequences of consuming too much.
I know you've run out. You smoke too much.
There's the bartender talking to Din and Bo, who need to simply look over their shoulder to gaze eyes on the fourth and final model located halfway into the room. Perhaps there are three, or more. And maybe these Cyclops are the droids operating this energizing establishment. But this is an unsolved crime, and the culprit is the magician droid with a disappearing act on par with the Caped Crusader.
He does that.
Maybe there are less, but all we need is one, and we can fill up this droid bar with Cyclops.
And fill her up.
Next, let's hop a ride on a Bowflex.
No.
How about a Bowflex hooked up to a Radio Shack police scanner and a prototype traffic light?
I don't want to do any of that.
If 6 arms don't have you excited for this former Aeon Flux Enforcer, you can always just enjoy the best AV equipment public schools had to offer in 1986. And while some robots will never join us, that's for good reason. They don't belong to this franchise. So let's focus on the machines from this galaxy that we might get manufactured. Cogs and all. I might be one of the few that actually wants this custodian droid's cousin, but you can let me know. In the meantime, you'll find that vending machine over in the corner. But please use proper change. This next droid is a mix between the body of JN66 and the head of SP4. At least that's what I can tell in my research. Some Star Tours droids come close, but sometimes only one droid is right for the job. Shut up! A weathered finish, the arbitrary antenna quartet, and the sleekness found on the surface similar to a charging port of another voice-activated robot I know.
Robot is online, reviewing primary directives.
He looks as if he belongs at a spaceport serving drinks to pirates, or fumbling luggage for biologicals. Alas, he will have to settle for a place in a droid bar where he won't be so discriminated against. The Day the Earth Stood Still may have been inspired by the groundbreaking film Metropolis, so it's because of that film that we have this design. This most disagreeable-looking customs droid is present, and close to the appearance of the already manufactured McQuarrie concept, with the newly announced to be obsolete NS4 taking little credit. This droid has beautiful blue receptors, and for some reason a mouth that doesn't even move. Almost like a crash test dummy. His arms are just as useful as a pine cone is for nourishment. However, his chrome coating makes him stand out more than Captain Phasma and a massive fire combined. We don't really get a good look at his bottom half. So when it comes to this figure, it's really a coin toss. The protocol droid is nothing new to us. So familiar, in fact, that one word can be used to describe each personality we have met. Logical, precise, loyal, helpful, equal, vexing. Yet, overall, one word suits them best in any alien language.
Do me a favor, and don't say it's fascinating.
The hypnotic glimmer of green distracts us from the little words spoken. And who knows how many languages this unit is fluent in. But we do know that besides binary, Galactic Basic is at the very least a hobby. Or maybe some phrases are just universal.
Nobody leaves.
Every little thing about this is familiar, gorgeous, yet surprisingly new to me. This subtle connection with what we already know about this series of droid has me curious about his backstory. He's smart enough to leave a situation when that situation is going south, and not dumb enough to cross Din Djarin. The color scheme is impressive, and I'm sure that if anyone knows a thing about this figure's pending release, it's the one person who has got to be getting mad by now.
How the should I know?
Sitting on the Mandalorian's left in front of the dystopian blockbuster video VHS tape rewinder is what I can only surmise is the Lyle Lovett of Star Wars. It's like if Dopey from the Seven Dwarfs and Sicko from Rocky IV produced offspring. I don't want to describe anything, so just think about it.
I will. It's just, I prefer not to.
I'll venture to guess that the green lights are receptors. However, the large apparatus on its right side could be anything from a video game sensor to a credit card chip reader, or any kind of aftermarket repair made to himself. But what would a droid need that isn't included in the standard model?
It's called TiVo.
Your idea as to why his body seems disproportioned is as good as mine. Doesn't his torso look like a toolbox?
But you can put your weed in there.
Be that as it may, despite its hastily built configuration, just one look at it and it's immediately more intimidating than Kevin.
Hey, I'm Kevin.
On Bo-Katan's right, just past the B-1 Droids, we see the closest thing to a T-800 exoskeleton, if it weren't already for the Legacy Collection Build-A-Droid YVH-1. In our galaxy, this droid could have been a worker serving humanity placed in a position to hand out much-needed provisions
and pamphlets on how to talk to your kids about how abstinence can be cool.
They could have been ice cream vendors, set to self-destruct, or not only the most polite self-driving car the elderly will be given a ride in, but also the last.
Hope you enjoyed the ride.
Nevertheless, a galaxy of laser swords and trash can Swiss Army knives with creative thought that allow interstellar Tinder to match siblings.
Oh, here's a fun fact. You made out with your sister!
May need an upgrade when serving the masses. I'm open to reprogramming them for best suited operations, with all droids having the bedside manner of a nanny and the ability to relate to others while possessing the unwavered ethics of a Christian youth pastor. But in a pinch, I guess we'll settle for someone pretending to be either one.
We can't do this. Hey, I am an actor. This is what I do. They'll never know the difference.
The red eyes are menacing, and if Din Djarin liked droids, or C-3PX wasn't already a companion to Darth Maul, I'd know just where he should go. But something tells me that he's right where he belongs. In a flea market sharper image, sucking down Monsters, Inc. screams. Our next motorized marvel is served up in a cylindrical white body with a metallic green dome and matching port covers on both its body and legs. Additionally, this astromech is peacocking to a sore thumb degree, just as the protocol droid was doing that I mentioned earlier.
Well, gosh, kind of a lot's happened since then.
I would like to think that they are acquainted just like R2-D2 and C-3PO, only with less notable adventures that dictate so much. So we need not waste too much time explaining how great of a unit this is, as you should already know. And if you don't, try not to blink too fast or you'll miss its savoring attributes. This humanoid variant, which could be a navigation droid, has some individuality with its white paint and blue pinstripes on its torso and arms, but only one blue stripe on its head's left side.
I'm guessing that's significant.
Its large receptors display a look of awe. The same look that Uncle Owen gives Baru when he notices that she's watching him drink straight from the moisture evaporator.
Yes, you did. I just saw you doing it. Why are you lying?
He seems peaceful enough, but you can never tell with these things. If he had the ability to inhale, I'd be willing to bet that those eyes indicate the use of death sticks to an extent that borders on more than a slight addiction.
You need to find a highly qualified psychiatrist.
I'd love to stay on this nav droid, but we need to check out this R5J1 comparison. This is an R series. On top of that, literally, is an additional R2 unit dome, only smaller than the average dome size.
I've been told size doesn't matter.
We don't get a great look at the entire modified astromech, but from what we can see, the small dome on top is silver. The ports and eye cover is a matte green with a metallic green base. The body is white with dark green port covers. The topmost dome is seen rhythmically rising and descending with excitement. For all we know, this could be a vacuum cleaner with an option to convert from canister to upright.
Oh, sounds fancy.
I hope you're just as excited about the possibility of this release, because it is the solution to every problem that the 1950s housewife has.
Stop! You're working too hard.
Next up is a travel-size Zamboni that comes ready to charge your personal devices. One at a time, because there's only one USB port. It also has a jack for your 1980s printer, and it's available only at Kmart, where you can do whatever you want.
You can ship your pants right here.
I just shipped my pants.
I just shipped my bed!
Which reminds me of the outlet on the rear that dispenses what I sure hope is chocolate ice cream.
When the did we get ice cream?
Okay, let's get serious. This is a type of gonk droid, and this little appliance has the capability to power a Star Destroyer, or destroy a Star Destroyer. Just plug these little things into any outlet and it becomes a time bomb with little effort. Alright, perhaps we are pushing it to an extreme. Now that I look at him, the green eye puts me at ease. It looks relatively harmless, but please do not climb inside. There has been a notice but not a recall ever since children have played hide and seek, became trapped within, and to make matters worse, this oversized Roomba without a conscience then commits a felony. Ask anyone and they'll tell you that this next astromech spooks easily. He's seen on the left of Din when walking in, and he's located to the right of the questionable looking bug with green eyes. This R3 unit has a white body and magenta highlights on the clear dome ports, eye covering, body, and legs. I know, this is wishful thinking really. The only hope of this being released resides in a Disney Park Droids pack. And I do so wish it happens before Yana Del Gargan wins first place in a beauty pageant.
Any other information you're pathologically lying about?
Were you aware that Sabacc is a game not just enjoyed by the biological? Here we have a grouping of gizmos and junk playing the game too. This guy rocked the 80s a bit too hard, as Yoko Ono's confusing art project after she spent an entire weekend watching Batteries Not Included.
Etc.
Springs and rivets aren't just curse words used by what Gavin Ross still refers to as machine heads. They are also the only things keeping this bag of bolts together. If this droid becomes hostile, I'd not worry. It's rusting, so it telegraphs its attacks. If I'd place this product in a category like artists in a record store, he appears to belong in the trash. This repair droid is similar to Lebo from Shadows of the Empire, which also has not yet been created, but was previously asked for in the episode of today's special, Game Night. If released, I imagine it'd be just as sloppy as Proxy. But I welcome it. There you are. 13 lacking blood flow sentient exclusives to group together, or be prejudiciously isolated from taverns on countless planets.
We don't serve their kind here.
But in case you missed a single one of them, we will run through them again. So as long as you've had access to writing utensils, you can keep up with the nomenclatures and circle your favorite in the lightning round.
Okay, whatever. Go!
Unidentified Cyclops droid.
You want some more?
Unidentified Custodian droid.
Everybody good? Plenty of slaves for my robot colony?
Unidentified Bug droid with yellow receptors.
We are autonomous robotic organisms, but you can call us Autobots.
Unidentified Humanoid Concept Design droid.
Do not know bathroom. Request explanation.
Unidentified Metallic Green Protocol droid.
Nice software.
Unidentified Bug droid with green receptors.
I'm more than machine or man.
Unidentified Gemini droid.
It's a machine that kills humans.
Unidentified R2 astromech droid.
I brought the aliens. Don't thank me or anything.
Unidentified navigation droid.
I just love scanning for life forms.
Unidentified R4 astromech droid. Unidentified gonk droid.
Part of me coming through.
Unidentified R3 astromech droid.
I can see right through that head of yours.
Unidentified repair droid.
A carbon-based life form come to rescue me at last. I just want to hug you and squeeze you and hold you close to me.
Now, we would really enjoy it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell. That's really all we ask.
Yeah, you see? I knew there's a catch. There's always a catch. How did I know that?
And until next time, ask yourself, who would win in a droid fight? A sewing machine or a drill press?
I'm sorry. I don't think about that kind of stuff.
I'm Dr. Afra, and I want to thank you for accepting this invitation for today's special.